Today I want to talk about keto desserts or keto snacks, which I never recommend except at the end of a meal, and gut issues. Now, the short version is you do not want to consume keto desserts or snacks if you have gut issues. So you don't want any of these ingredients, okay? But let me explain why. Because the keto bombs, cakes, cookies, or if you're going to do waffles or pancakes, all contain certain ingredients that will just add to the inflammation in your gut. And I'm talking about if you have irritable bowel syndrome or ulcerative colitis or diverticulitis or Crohn's or celiac or any inflammation in your colon, you want to stay away from these ingredients. So let's go through the ingredients. So starting with sugar alcohols. You have erythritol with stevia, or you have erythritol with monk fruit. Now, if you don't have a gut issue, this would be a good option. Second option would be xylitol. Now, if we compare xylitol with erythritol, this is better because erythritol is 30 on the glycemic index. Now, if you're having very small amounts, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I personally consume a little xylitol in my coffee every day. It's one small packet, extremely small, doesn't affect my blood sugars at all, but this would be 0. But if you have a gut issue, I don't recommend it. Maltitol is one of the worst sugar alcohols. It'll really tear up your gut, and it's pretty high on the glycemic index. And then you have this thing called IMO, isomalto-oligosaccharides. Another name for that is Vita Fiber. Now, I did a video a long time ago recommending this until I found some interesting new research on it, and now I do not recommend it because it can definitely increase your blood sugars big time. It's usually in the syrup, so you can make all sorts of amazing things, and it gives great texture for all sorts of keto desserts, and it's very sweet, but in reality, it's not keto friendly. That's why it tastes so great. All right, the other things you need to avoid are the flour alternatives. So when you do keto, you're no longer doing grains like wheat flour. So you do almond flour, coconut flour, chia seed flour, chickpea flour, or hazelnut flour. These will tear up your gut. You want to avoid these as well. And then we get to vegetable fats. Now, most vegetable fats are high in omega-6. It's going to create more inflammation, like safflower oil, sunflower oil, especially corn and soy. You're going to see these in restaurant food. So if you go out to dinner a lot, regardless of whether you order keto or not, a lot of times they're going to fry the food or cook the food in these two oils, and you may wonder why your stomach is inflamed. That is why. Now, coconut oil is a plant fat, and it is not that great if you have severe gut issues. So you can test it out, might be okay, but it may not be good for you. And then, of course, nuts and seeds, you want to avoid those because if you have a gut issue, it can really create an inflammatory process because these are very high in omega-6 fats. So the worse the gut issue, the more you need to do carnivore, which is keto, but without all this other stuff. You're pretty much just doing animal fat and protein, maybe a little bit of fermented vegetables, but if your gut is very, very severe, even those might be a problem. But if it's a moderate problem, you could pretty much handle a small amount of fermented vegetables. Now, let's say, for example, your gut is inflamed, or you have this autoimmune condition, which always stems from the gut. You want to do this ratio, 2-to-1, fat to protein, but mainly stick with animal fats and animal proteins. So you'd want to do carnivore without plant fats. Like you wouldn't want to do it with coconut oil or even avocados. And because there's a lot of inflammation in your gut, you don't even want to do any type of dairy whatsoever. That includes cream, butter. A small amount of ghee might be okay because ghee actually filters out some of the solids, some of the potential proteins like casein that you might be sensitive to. And with gut issues, some people are sensitive to eggs as well. So unfortunately, you're very restrictive. But if you only consume very, very fatty meats on a keto, and I'm not just talking about using meat, I'm talking about organ meats as well. Fatty sausage, fatty fish would be a very, very good thing to help heal your gut issues. So you would do that for a period of time, and then you'd want to slowly ease into the fermented vegetables. But you probably are not going to be able to tolerate these keto desserts and so-called keto-friendly snacks if you have a history of gut issues. All right, guys, for a little more information on this, I put a video down below. Check it out. Before you go, if you have a question about a product, or you're new to keto and you want to know how to begin keto, or you're on keto and you need a debug because it's not going as smooth, I have a keto consultant standing by to help you. This is just for the people in the US. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to answer everyone's call. But I put the number down below so you can call and get some help.